Strong recruiting and strong pledge classes are the best indicator that you've got a chapter that's doing everything right. When you have a big pledge class, it means that people on your campus like what your chapter is doing. It's the strongest indicator that you have a successful fraternity. A lot of chapters, though, don't want to grow their membership. And membership is either going to be declining or increasing. It very rarely stays static. So the important thing to think about and talk with your executive board and your president and your rush chairman is, what are the goals for recruiting each semester? A lot of chapters are apathetic, and they'll come in and they'll say to the chapter advisor, we really don't want to increase our numbers. We like being a small chapter. And the reason we want to be small is we get to know our brothers more. Well, there just aren't enough guys on our campus to recruit. We've already got the best of the best. Another thing that you might hear is that no one else on campus is worthy of rushing. And I just find that hard to believe on most campuses. I believe there are always gentlemen out there that have the same values as our fraternity. They want good grades, they want social activities, they want opportunities for leadership, and they want to make themselves a better man. And if those guys are on campus, we need to recruit them 365 days a year. The more numbers you have in your pledge class, the more money you're going to have to run your fraternity. We hate to say that, Rush is all about money and numbers, but really running the fraternity is a business. And the more people we have in our pledge class, the more dues we have coming in. The fraternity really is a social organization that comes together to pool its financial resources so that they can have things that the independents don't have. The more people you have in your fraternity, the more things you can do. So I always think that having a few more members in the pledge class each year is good for each chapter. When you get ready to start your recruiting program, have a goal. Encourage your rush chairman and your executive officers to have specific written goals, SMART goals, specific, measurable, attainable, written, and time deadlined. If you don't have goals for your recruiting class, you'd never know where you're going to end up. I think good goals really start off with what you had last year. Second, they start off with what your financial ambitions are. And third, they allow you to compare yourself to where you want to end up against the competition. Do you want to be the largest pledge class? Do you want to be second or third? Or is the smallest pledge class on campus your goal? Recruiting is not generally a matter of going out and having the best rush events. Recruiting really is about making friends, one at a time. One of the things that I like to do in recruiting or giving an invitation to join Delta Tau Delta is to offer the second handshake. Our number one saying in the fraternity is, recruit people that are better than us. If you find people that are better than you, you're always going to grow, you're always going to improve the legacy and improve your local chapter. When we go in and we start discussing our recruits on bid night, we always ask, what can this potential brother bring to the chapter that we don't already have? Where will he make a significant mark on our chapter and our campus? And if we don't see him making a positive, significant contribution, being number one with his passion and whatever it is that he chooses to do, he's probably not going to be a brother for our chapter, because we're only looking for the best of the best. The best pledge classes form and come into our chapters when we recruit people that are like us. They have similar backgrounds, they have similar lifestyles, they have similar interests. And really what this means is they have the same core values that we have as a chapter of Delta Tau Delta. What are your values? We talk about truth, faith, power, and courage. We talk about accountability. We talk about, commitment to the community. But how do you sum it up for a new recruit in just a couple of words or a tagline? And until all 60 brothers in your chapter can say in one or two sentences what your fraternity stands for, you're not going to have your best recruiting. Train your brothers to know the tagline and to tell a word story that engages the emotions of each potential rushee. Number one thing is you have to realize that today's pledges, rushees, potential members, are not like it was when we were in school 10 and 30 years ago. They want more information. They want to be able to shop. They want to be able to learn and discover on their own terms. Today's students expect to find information on the website. And the national website has great information on recruiting, about what chapter life is all about, and questions that you may not have even thought about. Secondly, great chapters have to have a local website that talks about their involvement on campus, list of all their members, pictures of all the brothers, and some of the fun things that you do. Also include your academic standing and your philanthropic events. Let people know what your chapter stands for in your website. Another great resource is the Greek Advisor or the Dean of Student Life. Go to those people and ask them how you're perceived on campus. Find out what your brand is from the outside looking in. Talk to the sorority girls. They know where the fraternities rank. Sorority girls are a great source of potential pledges. Ask your girlfriends, ask your best sisters, ask your little sisters, who should we be rushing this year? What do you think about this guy in your science class? There'll be great referrals. You should be on Twitter. You let people know when you're having a rush event. Get the message out in the way that today's rushees want to be communicated with. Every great fraternity today is using Facebook to meet people on campus, to find out who has similar interests, who's involved in similar organizations. So one of the things that we're talking about in recruiting based on values is having standards, so that when the whole chapter comes together and you're talking about the A team and the B team, what are you judging them against? Do you have a metric? Do you have some standard that says, yes, this guy should be in our top 10%, or no, this guy should be in our bottom 10%? Based on what? Every great recruiting chairman has a list of standards and communicates that to the entire chapter. And standards should always be based on what your house thinks is important.